What might this mean for you? How can you discover your own story of psychology and nature? If you drew a timeline representing your life and began to chart important experiences you've had that have been related to nature, the natural world, other species, or just being outdoors, what examples would you select? Perhaps you had a place that was really important to you, or a special relationship with an animal or a pet. Perhaps you learned something about the environment in school, or you had a mentor that taught you about camping or being in the outdoors, or you had special experiences with your family or friends. Or maybe you had negative or scary experiences in the outdoors, or received messages that taught you that being in nature was dirty or unsafe. Everyone has a unique timeline. The experience on this timeline helped to make up your environmental identity, how you think of your personal identity in relation to nature and the rest of the natural world. Your environmental identity is much like your gender identity, or ethnic identity, or sexual identity, or cultural identity. It needs to be recognized and given language to so it can be expressed. Now, if we look more deeply at one of the events or experiences on your timeline, we could explore your state of mind. Were you focused or distracted? Was your body tense or relaxed? Did you experience a sense of connection or flow? Did you feel a part of something larger than yourself? Or did you feel small and inconsequential? Your sense of being in that moment was your ecological self, the feeling of how it was to be you at that moment as part of a place, as part of an ecosystem, as part of the planet Earth. But wait, there's even more. Now that you've raised your consciousness regarding psychology and nature, you can also expand it. For example, let's look back at one of your experiences of ecological self. We know from Psychology 101 that our context affects our experience. It's the same with our experience of nature. Moments of ecological self have a biological and neurological component. They reflect our unique thought processes and our past mental conditioning. They have meaning in the context of our family and social relationships. And they take place in an actual physical place, a building that was designed by someone, or a landscape that may be preserved or protected by law. So, these experiences take place in societies and cultures, and they are influenced by our political and economic systems. They are encompassed by a larger biosphere and planet, and ultimately by a transcendent universe. These are big ideas about meaning and reality that psychology helps us to understand. And this prepares us to make big decisions about our politics, economics, and spirituality. Now, what about people of different cultures and backgrounds? Look again at your timeline. Do you think your experience would have been different if your skin color was different? Or your gender? Or your physical ability? Or your sexual orientation? Or if you grew up in a different social class? Or a different place in the world? Or if the laws protecting the environment were different? Now you can get a sense of the great multicultural diversity at play in people's experiences of nature, what I call environmental diversity. No matter where you live, environmental problems have the most impact on those of least wealth and privilege. So, environmental psychology, whether of threats or of benefits, also concerns questions of fairness and environmental justice.